Hello everyone, welcome to the channel Care of Pharma in Pharmacognosy subject. Previously I told about the introduction of pharmacognosy. There I had discussed about the concept of the crude drug and the various sources of the crude drug and the various parts from where we can get the crude drug. I am giving the link, check it out. Today I will discuss about the history of pharmacognosy and some part of the development of pharmacognosy. Actually, how the subject is evolved and why the subject is so important. The development of pharmacognosy can be regarded as the history of pharmacy and the medicine because pharmacognosy and its origin in the health related activities of the most primitive human race of the remote past. The early man must have sought to alleviate his sufferings from injury, pain, or disease by utilizing the plants that were growing in the environment, actually, the natural sources mainly. On the time, there are only one remedies from where the human beings can get the actual medicine. And you know what is this? They were started to use the natural sources continuously, okay? Not from one particular date. It was gradual advancement in the use of the plant and other products. The process that contributed to the early man's search for cures and the selection of the medicament include some process or you may call some right decision. The ancient people explored the medicinal properties of the plant throughout the ages, discovery crude drugs and their acquired knowledge of pharmacognosy in many ways, including trial and error guesswork, accidental discovery, so search for food, observations of animals, etc., etc. So we should know the what are the process. At first, we are starting with the trial and error guesswork. Trial and error guesswork. And the ancient people used to take the natural product from their surroundings, means they were usually used to take the various parts of the available plant for the cure the injuries, pain or disease. They tried and then discarded those parts until it fulfilled the aim. This was a rough and the time consuming method. From this method they easily from this method they easily distinguish the beneficial and the toxic or poisonous plant. They applied it on the various way to know the actual process for the curation and they gradually minimize the toxic effect. By this way means the trial and error guesswork, ancient people discovered the effects of the various parts of the plants and the natural products. Next one is accidental discovery. As I previously told that the ancient people used the plant as the trial and error guesswork, sometimes these becomes an accidental discovery. Sometimes it called the serendipitous discovery, means finding of one thing while looking for the another. The example are anti-malarial drug quinine from the South American cinchona bark. Antibiotic penicillin from the penicillium mold happened accidentally. The medicinal use of the cannabis is as old as 5000 years or more, but the discovery of its medicinal application of the cannabis sativa was accidental. It was a source of the nutritious seed for the ancient people, but later they noticed that the dizziness side effect due to the accidental intake of the flower parts with the edible seeds. From the accidental consumption, purposeful use had developed and a new subject has arrived, that is pharmacology. The next one is searching for food. Ancient people were used many types of the herbs and the medicine, but as time passed, those herbs and the species were used as the food. They use those things as an important ingredient in daily life and improvement to health related problems. They were used those things because they identified that those particular parts are really help to cure. Now this in this era scientific experiments are documented antimicrobial properties of many herbs species and their components. The next one is the observation of animal. Intimate and the careful observation of such instinctive behavior of animal was helpful for the ancient people in choosing the beneficial part from the medicinal point of view. Later, they were incorporated into the prehistoric shamanism and then into the medicine. Scientific evidence supports that they mainly the sorry sci- scientific evidence supports that many animals, including dog, deer, cat, elephant, etc., are known to consume the medicinal plants, but for the self medication, or you may call the zoo pharmacognosy. Now taking this as a clue, scientists of the present time are use the method to isolate the active compound from the medicinal plant. Now we are talking about the history of the pharmacognosy. Here we will discuss about the time lapse of the pharmacognosy, various renowned scientists, and their benefaction to the society. So we can divide it the history of the pharmacognosy into three parts, that is the ancient era, modern era, and the early modern era. The ancient era. The era start with the Neolithic era, that means the Stone Age. At the age is at 8000 to 5000 BC. Ancient people used the plants not only for their shelter or food; they simultaneously used the plant as a medicine. Mainly the people of the Indus Valley, Chinese civilization, Egyptian, Mesopotamian. Okay, the scientists from the China, Xinjiang, had written the Pen Tisao in 3000 BC, which is one of the oldest pharmacopoeia on the earth. From many ancient manuscripts, we also recognized many scientists and their manuscripts, like Mesopotamian medical knowledge compiled as the Treatise Medical Diagnosis and the Prognosis, written in the cuneiform, was preserved in the clay tablets for the several hundred years in the library of Assurbanipal. Papyrus Iberus, the oldest written documented in Egypt, that is in 1500 BC. Hippocrates wrote the Hippocrates described the human anatomy and the physiology in 460 to 360 BC. Study of Animal Kingdom written by the Aristotle, Study of Plant Kingdom written by the Theophrastus, Charaka compiled the Charaka Samhita, likely between the 100 BC and the 200 BC. So there are so many scientists, their book from where we can get the history of the pharmacognosy, or you may call the evaluation of subject. I have written the in this slide so some books and the scientist name with their time period. Please pause the video and read it carefully. Okay, now the modern history is important because we are living in this period where the everything is in peak. We know how to separate the one particular molecule from the mixture, means the isolation, the detailed study of the single molecule and their chemical notification modification from where the subject of the phytochemistry is evolved. Phytochemistry and the subject of pharmacognosy is now based on the chromatography and the modern instrumental method like thin layer chromatography, liquid chromatography, gas chromatography, actually chromatography and spectroscopic method. New drug molecule is in now discovered from the various animal and the microorganism. We are also doing the bioassay, computational study, in vitro, in vivo study. Okay, so in this video we have discussed the development of the pharmacognosy and the history of the pharmacognosy. We can check the link where I discussed the introduction of pharmacognosy previously. Okay, so if you think if you want to know more about for this subject, please subscribe the channel, and if you want to know more about for this particular topic, please comment below. And if you like this video, please hit the like button and share with your friends. Thank you.